If you're a human design projector and you're constantly feeling tired, burnt out, and drained, you're not alone. Projectors are uniquely designed to lead and guide others, but that comes with its own challenges. One of those challenges being managing our own energy. The good news is that you can absolutely thrive as a projector in life and in business without feeling constantly drained. So in this video, I want to share 5 practical things that you can do to manage your energy effectively and live in more alignment. Hi, by the way, my name is Veronica. I'm a coach and human design guide. And on this channel, I talk about human design in a way that is simple to understand and easy to implement so that you can find more alignment in who you are, what you do, and how you do it. So if that sounds good and you'd like to see more content like this, please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you do enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Okay, so let's dive straight in. Practical tip number 1 is to truly understand your strategy and embrace the power of invitations. I've recently done a whole other video talking about waiting for the invitation, and I actually broke it down and gave you guys a very simple framework to follow because I know that a lot of projectors actually struggle to understand and implement this strategy. So if you haven't watched that video already, I'll leave it linked somewhere here on the screen and down in the box below. But one of the most powerful ways that projectors can thrive and preserve their energy is by embracing the natural flow of invitations. As a projector, you are designed to be recognized by others and then be invited to share your very powerful wisdom, your gifts, your insights, your advice. And the reason we need to wait to be invited is because when we don't, people aren't ready to receive what it is that we have to give. They will feel overwhelmed, they will feel very confronted by the intensity of our aura, of our energy, of our wisdom, and the advice that goes along with it. And I know the challenge is that as projectors, we notice things. We notice things that often other people don't see. We notice the problems and the solutions that can go along with those problems. And so for us, it feels very natural to want to share those solutions, to want to share that advice, to want to guide, to want to lead. We want to be of service. We want to be noticed. We want to be appreciated. So often, projectors are not in alignment with this strategy because they're moving through life just dishing out advice, dishing out solutions, making other people's problems their own, or deciding that they are the ones who have to be the fixers in every situation. They are the ones who have to take control. They are the ones who have to be responsible. They are the ones who always need to lead the way. And that's just simply not the case. When we do that, we are essentially draining our energy, leaking out energy on things that we're just not meant to worry about, on problems that we're just not meant to fix. And I always encourage you guys to think about your life, right? Don't just take what I say. Actually look at your life, look at your past experiences, and start to notice when you've been met with resistance. I'm an older sister. I'm one of 4. I'm the eldest. I'm a projector. I'm the only projector in my family. I've mentioned this in videos before. And I definitely moved through the first 2 decades of my life always being the one to advise. Why don't you do this? Why don't you try that? Have you thought about doing this? Why don't we change this in the house? Sometimes it was well received, and those were the times where I had been asked. I had been asked for my opinion. I had been asked for my advice, and so it worked really well. And the times where that wasn't the case, the times where I was called a know-it-all and mind your own business, don't tell me what to do, were the times where I was imposing my wisdom onto others and it hadn't been asked for. So I was met with resistance pretty much instantly, and that resistance always led to conflict, miscommunication, me feeling bad, me not feeling recognized, and all those things that eventually lead you into your not self theme as a projector, which is bitterness. I felt bitter. Why are they not listening to me? Why are they not taking my advice? Why can't they see what I can see? Why are they not appreciating how much I'm trying to help? If this sounds familiar, let me know in the comments, right? We're all in this together. Us projectors get it because most of us have been there. That's one of the reasons why projectors just walk around feeling tired all the time. So if you're feeling tired and you're feeling drained, really take a good hard look at your behavior. Think about how you show up with your family, with your friends, with colleagues, with your children, with your partners. Are you always stepping in, trying to fix everyone else's problems? Are you noticing everyone else's problems when they don't even know they have problems and trying to fix them for them? Are you pushing your views and advice onto others when that advice or opinion hasn't been asked for? And by the way, this is not about us not being entitled to our own opinions and views, but it just means that we don't always have have to share it with everyone. We have no obligation to convince other people of what we see, or better yet, tell them what they should do based on what we think is right, especially when they haven't come to us for that particular guidance. So to simplify, what I'm saying is you might not just need a nap, you might need to learn to mind your own business a little bit more and wait to be invited to share your incredible wisdom. Tip number 2 is to actually create a restorative routine. As projectors, we're not built to work tirelessly. We're not built to do, we're built to see. We don't have a defined sacral, we don't have access to that constant life force. Therefore, the energy that we use needs to be preserved, and we need rest. We need to be mindful of consistently recharging our batteries in order to then show up and feel fully energized when it truly matters. So for us projectors, this is a lifestyle change. This is a choice to do life differently, to have routines that prioritize rest, that prioritize your well-being. I often talk about this with clients. Rest is not a reward, especially not for projectors. Rest is a prerequisite. We rest so we can then do. So I want you to think about, how are you spending your time? Look at your day, look at your week. Are you actually prioritizing rest? Or do you feel constantly exhausted because you're working or doing something every hour of the day, whether that's for yourself, for someone else, for work, seeing friends, cleaning the house, and then getting to the end of the day feeling exhausted and then starting it all again the next day? And throughout, you're feeling drained, you're feeling tired, but you just keep on pushing. Because if that's the case, well, it's no surprise that you're feeling so exhausted. We need to actually schedule in rest. As an example, I don't start work before 10 a.m. and I usually don't work past maximum 6 p.m. and that's only when I have clients in the US. And I know that's not realistic for a lot of people, but I have constructed my business in that way so that at the beginning and end of the day, I have time to take care of myself, my well-being, to pour into my own cup before I start to engage my energy in the things that I need or want to do. So I encourage you to think about, how could you do something similar? How could you at least start and end your day with really restful routines? So for me, that looks like journaling, it looks like reading, it looks like yoga, it looks like watching a movie. I have a menu of things that I know help me relax, and we're all different, right? So different things will help different people, but I encourage you to make a list of the things that you find restorative, that re-energize you, that allow your energy to rest, and to make sure that you are at the very minimum incorporating those things at the beginning and end of your day. Now, if you want to take that step further, ideally the way that is helpful for projectors to operate is to have consistent breaks. So every hour, every 2 hours, every half an hour, whatever frequency feels good to you, is to actually take a mini break so that you're not in these cycles of running out of energy completely before you recharge, but rather you're preserving higher qualities of energy because you're essentially recharging as much as you're using your energy. So it's kind of like use a little bit of energy and recharge, use a little bit of energy and recharge. This is also how we avoid getting to burnout, because we have this buffer. Whenever reaching depletion before we recharge, it's almost like we top up our energy cup every time we take a few sips. This reminds me of, when you're in a good restaurant and you're drinking a bottle of wine, they never wait for you to empty your glass before they come and top it up. They usually come and top it up whilst you still have wine in the glass, so that if you finish your glass of wine, you're not left waiting on empty. I know this is a random analogy, but I use a lot of analogies with clients when I'm doing readings, and often they help because human design can sometimes feel a little bit elusive, and so it's quite nice to have these practical everyday examples to help us bring it all together. Tip number 3 is to set boundaries that honor your energy. Projectors have a hard time saying no because they often want to help and serve and guide others. But by saying yes to every single request, to every single invite, to every single opportunity, you will very quickly burn out. And I encourage you to remember that having boundaries doesn't mean being selfish. It means taking care of yourself. Because if your calendar is filled with responsibilities, commitments, and social engagements, and you're leaving yourself no time to rest, then eventually your body is going to say, no. Your body is going to stop you. This is why so often projectors get sick, projectors get the flu, projectors actually end up with chronic illnesses because their body just cannot cope with constantly operating in that depleted state. It also means that we often show up to things feeling bitter and resentful, feeling like I don't want to be here, but I feel like I have to, I feel like I should. And guess what? We're not that great to be around when we're in that mood. You might as well have said, no thank you, maybe let's do it next week, and giving yourself the time you need to rest so that when you do the thing, you're showing up with energy, with excitement, and with a desire to actually be there. So set those boundaries, communicate them clearly, and don't be afraid to say no to tasks or invites that drain you. Because ultimately, by prioritizing your well-being, by prioritizing your energy, you'll be able to show up with more focus, more presence, and more energy to the things that actually matter most. This leads nicely into tip number 4, which is to engage in meaningful activities. The key to preserving your energy as a projector is to engage your energy on the things that actually matter to you, on the needle moving tasks, on the things that have a true purpose. When we're not aware of what those things are, what tends to happen is that we end up getting pulled in different directions by other people, by other people's needs, by other people's desires. So I invite you to really think about what are the things that energize you? What are the things that matter to you? Whether it's being creative, being in nature, sports, reading, training your dogs, online trading, whatever it is that floats your boat, it's important for you to be aware of it and to prioritize it. Because if you don't, it will always get pushed to the bottom and you'll end up spending all of your energy on things that don't matter or that other people want for you, and you'll never have any energy left for the things that truly matter to you. So then not only you will feel depleted physically, but you'll also feel depleted emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, because you will have no connection to who you are and to what matters to you most. So find out who you are, find out what you like, do it on purpose, and make sure that you're prioritizing those things. And tip number 5 is to connect with a supportive community. Find a community that understands and supports you and your design. Projectors often feel depleted and drained, not just because of their physical demands, but because they spend entire lifetimes feeling invisible, feeling misunderstood, feeling unrecognized, feeling unappreciated. And that is draining for the soul. That is draining for you and the way that you feel about yourself, your identity, the way that you view your value, your contribution. And let's face it, we are surrounded by mostly generators and manifesting generators. Right? When we look at the statistics in human design, around 70% of the population are sacral beings. They are different from us. No better or worse. We're all very, very unique, but they have a lot more energy to do than we do. And so us as projectors, we can often be left feeling like we're swimming against what everyone finds easy or what everyone says we should do or how everyone else is doing life. And one of the biggest gifts that human design gave me personally as a projector was validation. It was validation for the way that I felt for the last 30 odd years, for the challenges I have faced, for the things I have felt resistance to, for the strengths I didn't know how to use. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people can be an absolute game changer. It can be energizing, can be validating, can help you actually feel seen and normal for the first time. Being surrounded by other people who get our need for rest, who are also designed to focus on quality over quantity, who are also really good at seeing us, so we end up reflecting back what we see in each other, really is so precious. And this is exactly why a few months ago I decided to start creating my own projector only community. I will leave the details in the description box so you can come and check it out. But whatever you do, find your tribe, find your community, find your collective, find your people, because it will make the biggest difference. So to quickly recap, the 5 things I would recommend if you're always feeling drained as a projector are: number 1, wait for these invitations. Number 2, create that restorative routine and embed it into your lifestyle. Number 3, set clear boundaries and learn to say no. Number 4, engage your energy into things that actually matter to you and make a point to find out what they are. And number 5, find a community who truly sees you. Okay guys, as always, if you've got questions, leave in the comment section below. If you need any further support, I will leave all the information of the different ways that you can work with me down below, and I hope to see you here in the next one. Bye guys.